If you've been following our channel, you know that we've done all sorts of fishing boats, cruising boats, all pontoons. We've done a Quadzilla for pontoons, huge, big, wide thing. Our customer's been dreaming this up. It's a work barge going out to New Hampshire to run errands, deliver things, 27 feet long, 3 pontoons. This thing is built like a tank. We're gonna show you this project, all the steps that we go through. This is going to be a work barge. It's going all the way out to New Hampshire, Lake Winnipesaukee. Let's look at what we're starting with here. It's all, the base is the trailer. This is a brand new trailer from PMI. So down in Elkhart, Indiana, we'll put a link into their website. Super heavy duty, powder coated, double axle trailer, big radial tires on it, ladder to get on. The structure of the boat though is the fun part for us, obviously. This is gonna be an 8.5 foot wide boat, 27 feet long. We're designing this to be a lighter, a little bit faster, a little bit less expensive to operate barge boat to run errands, deliver things and such on Lake Winnipesaukee. Huge lake, lots of island communities up there. So this is a boat that can get people and things where they need to go. It's gonna be a wide open boat. Fun part, it's gonna get a wheelhouse, so a 3-side enclosed captain's wheelhouse, I guess we'll call it, with a window and everything, windshield. It's gonna have ramps, it's gonna have all the bells and whistles that you need to run a business on the water as a barge. It's gonna be a fun build. You're gonna like this. We're gonna have to build it on the ground. We have to modify the trailer because these lifting strakes on these pontoons are pretty massive, and the pontoons themselves are 27-inch diameter. So we're gonna build it on the ground. When it's done, or at least to a point where we can put it on the trailer to finish the top side, then we'll have to use a center lift and get it up on center lift to get it over to a boat launch where we can swap it. So what we're doing right now, we've mapped out where all the cross members are gonna go. We're doing 12-inch centers for the first 6 feet or 7 feet. Then it goes to 16-inch centers, and then the back several feet, 6 feet or so, are gonna be on 12-inch centers again. All 3/16-inch, big structural, heavy C-channel. And what we did is we templated out to where we can mark all of our holes. I'm going through and pre-drilling with a 1/4-inch hole, then we'll take the 1/2-inch hole to go through. It's gonna get 3/8-inch hardware. But when you're lining everything up on these, it helps to make that hole just a little bigger, go to the 1/2-inch, and that way we'll still line everything up square, but it'll give us a little bit of room to work with when we're piecing the whole Tritoon together. So the different cross members we have, they're both 3/16 walled, 60-63, so a nice heavy hardened aluminum. This is 1.5 ears, we call it, from here to here. And then these are a structural piece, so there's more extruded in here, so a little bit beefier. These will go on the seams because we have 1.75 inches. So every seam will get one of these, and the in-betweens will get one of these. With the help of Marty, we were able to get this first cross member. I just have nuts and washers on, nothing's tight yet, because what I want to do, if you come around on this side, is all of these tubes have the same length nose cone. So the tip of the nose cone to this bracket here. So what I'm gonna do is square everything up on this first cross member across all 3 pontoons. It'll take some moving, some shaking, some lifting, some dropping. But once this one is tight, we're gonna run all the way to the back, put our back one in where everything's measured off as perfect as possible. Then we can fill in our cross members as we go. So again, this is a big piece of the puzzle, just getting it started, getting this one lined up. Check out what just came in the mail from our customer we're building the barge for. If you're out in New Hampshire on Lake Winnipesaukee on one of those islands and you need barge service, you gotta look these guys up. You'll see this boat when we're all done with it and what they're gonna have to offer. All of our hardware is kind of lined up. Our cross members we're getting in place, and we're gonna go through and set them on, tighten everything down, and this will be the frame of a big Tritoon before we're done today.
You can go up there, go.
It says perch, so we can watch over us and boss us around.
In the description for this video, I will link the email address to the company where we sourced these pontoons from, including the center pontoon with the transom mount integrated into it. It was customized, and it holds the fuel tank as well. We've gotten to the point where we're ready to put our deck boards on. So we've got 6 full sheets, and then it's going to be about a 3-foot sheet to make that 27-foot deck. So we'll do that one last. But this is how we always do it. We line up our backboard first. And because I built this pontoon from scratch, I know that my cross members are all square, so that looked really good. But we'll start with the back one. I'll stick it down with self-tappers to the back, and then we can get the seams set, and we'll just keep working on the seams all the way up, and then we'll go through, we'll snap chalk lines on all these other cross members and use self-tappers on those. A lot of hardware going into this one. They are super thick cross members, so 3/16 on our smaller ones, 1/4 inch thick on top on the seams. So we'll have to pre-drill, pilot drill everything. It's gonna be a big mess, but when it's all put together, it'll be well worth it. I don't know if I've talked about this in much detail in the past, but on these seams, what we're doing, I just offset my self-tappers just slightly. I've seen boats where they do a self-tapper here, the other board, back and forth. I've seen it where they do this. I've seen it where they go right next to each other. This seam, 8.5 foot wide boat, is getting 7 sets of screws, so 14 screws in total, self-tappers holding it together. Again, we use self-tappers when we have 1.5 inches or bigger. These are 1.75 inches, flat spot on top to get into, one in the center, and then about every 20 inches working back out. This great big old boat is getting the extreme duty vinyl flooring from PontoonStuff.com. Did I say it funny?
You just said duty.
I know. This is the first video we've done with this extreme duty vinyl. It's gonna come shipped right to your house in a roll. FedEx will drop it right off. So this is just a nice, hard, waterproof, super durable surface, and then a felt backing, which is gonna allow us to adhere to the wood better. We're just gonna unroll it all the way out. I've already swept the deck. Because this is thinner, I did make sure that all my seams were sanded nice and smooth.
River, is it your Auntie Joanne? She's got your treats.
In case you wonder if River is spoiled, that's the #1 reason that River is spoiled, is Aunt Joanne. If you wonder what staples I'm using, these are Aero brand T50 staples, 1/2 inch stainless steel. We've got that side glued and stapled. We're gonna apply another couple gallons of glue to the other side, roll that with the paint roller, put the floor down, roll it out, staple it, trim it, and we're done. We came in on a Saturday to get this deck put down and the vinyl on. This is extreme duty vinyl from PontoonStuff.com. It's really thick, really heavy duty. You saw me cut it with a razor, but it's actually really tough to tear. This is gonna have dolly carts wheeled on it, construction materials, all sorts of stuff dragged across it. This is gonna hold up the best for this situation. We're gonna let the glue cure for a couple days, and then we'll come back, and the next piece on this boat, other than putting on our deck trim, is gonna be building that wheelhouse and the railings in the rear. It's gonna be fun. That's gonna be in the next episode. We have a lot of custom fabrication on this boat.